So, welcome to our July 1st Monday. That's always the best start of a month when it falls on a Monday. Welcome to our July team call. We are so blessed to have, I would say, Keith, I would say we're good friends. My good friend, Keith Callahan, he is the author of Build to Last. It is an incredible book. My Jewels and I actually went through this book last summer. Was that right, Lacey? We went through it last summer, just the five of us, after Megan Milakovic just went on and on about how this was so helpful for her and Alita Allen or Alita Langford's business. And this was so good. And then I had the privilege of doing a very close-knit coaching group with Keith a couple of weeks ago. And one of the things that I really was drawn to before I joined his coaching group was a lot of the leaders in our company who have worked with him in the past have talked about how he has really helped them figure out how to run a big business, a big, successful, thriving business in a way that is peaceful, that's simple, that's not overwhelming. And you guys, we all know, there can just be so much coming at us that it can feel overwhelming. And so that was something I was really excited to learn about with Keith. And so he's got incredible background with network marketing. He is highly successful. He's a father of 6, happily married. He lives in an amazing area near Boston. And he's going to share with us tonight just some of, I'm going to just pass it over to him. I don't want to steal his show, but he's going to share some of the things that have really helped him, that he really believes in, that will help us to have strong, successful businesses. So Keith, take it away.
Thank you, Emily. Can you guys hear me? All right. So first of all, I'm going to call some people out. And I know that sometimes we can't turn our cameras on, but if you can, turn your camera on, because then I can see, am I connecting? Are we making sense here? All right. Hi, Holly. Hi, Joshua. I don't know if you're really Joshua, though. Lacey, Kenya, Kim, Kristen, Sarah, Casey, Rhonda, Joanna, Brianna. How's everybody doing? Okay, real quick. What's your current rank? And what's the big goal? What's the goal that you're really going for right now? So what's your current rank? And what's the big one that you're really going for? This is where you type in the chat, current rank and what you're going for. Emerald, I love it, Lacey. Senior silver, shooting for senior ruby. Emerald, current diamond, going for 10 level 1 jewels. Senior gold to emerald. Senior ruby, going for diamond. Love it, Brianna. Gold, currently focusing. All right. We don't have much time, so we got to get into it. How many of you really want that rank? Really, really, really want it? What's preventing you from getting it? All right, here's the answer. Every one of us, not me. I'm not the one preventing you from getting it, but we all have these beautiful dreams in this business, and we all have these beautiful goals in this business. And I'm going to kind of simplify this entire business model for us. How many of us set out, we had these beautiful dreams, we had these beautiful goals, and we set out to accomplish these dreams and these goals, and then something happened and we don't really know what happened? How many can relate to that on this call? You were flying in your business and then something happened and you don't know what really happened. All right. So I'm going to simplify it for you. What happened? Every one of us comes into this business with a certain level of talent, certain level of skills. Some of us, we can get to, 10-star diamond or whatever, diamonds with 10 diamonds. I don't know what it's called in Flex. It's you can get that high just by running. For some of us, we might not even be able to get to silver just by running. For some of us, we might not even be able to sign somebody up, right? Like there's all this different gamut. But here's the one thing that's true for every single person in network marketing. We get to a certain point, and then the reason that we stop doing it is because it got uncomfortable. And we want to go back to comfort, right? We can all agree with that. We're all adults here, right? Like something got uncomfortable, and then we had to go back to comfort. So write this down. If you want to achieve the big goal, look for that uncomfortable spot where you want to run away, where you want to go hide, where you want to binge TV, where you want to binge on food, where you want to go out for drinks with the girls, where you want to go to the kids' games and just get back to regular life because this got a little uncomfortable. All of us have these big dreams and these big goals, right? But we get to that uncomfortable spot and we don't even realize it. We stop chasing the dream and the goal because it gets a little uncomfortable. But that's actually the spot where the opportunity lies. All right. So one little nugget there. Everybody get that? Look for that spot. If we could get off this call and everybody's fired up and you guys just came out of convention and everybody's fired up, everybody's doing the thing right now and everybody's excited about it, know that that spot's going to come, and instead of shying back from it, explore it. Oh, this is what that weird bald dude with the glasses was talking about. This is the spot. This is where I usually, this is my, and we all have different things, right? For me, I just want to run and hide. I just want to get the hell out of there. I just want to go back to a safe place where all's good, sitting at my pool, hanging out with the kids, and not really having a care in the world. But then when I come back, it's going to be a lot harder to get started again, right? Because we know that the start is hard. And each time we start and stop, it's a little bit harder. So just look out for that piece. Look out for that resistance and explore it. All right, I want to run. I'm going to just sit here for a second. Maybe I just need to take one step forward today. Instead of completely retreating, can I check the list off, right? All right, I don't want to go too deep down there. Does that make sense, though? All right, we're going to kind of do a little jumping around, and if we're lucky, if I'm lucky at the end of this, like one or two of these little, I'm a big believer in like one or two little nuggets can really shift things, can really change things. Um, I want to simplify this business. How many of us want a big business, right? We all had these big goals. And how do we go about doing that? Here's the first thing that comes to mind. We need a lot of people, right? You need a lot of people in your downline to have a big business. You need a lot of customers in your downline to have a big business. You need a lot of people doing the thing in your downline to have a big business. And I remember when I first started, I went to a convention and I saw this guy speaking on stage and he had 300 customers underneath him. And I was thinking, oh my God, what would life be like if I had 300 customers underneath me, right? And then I wanted to run and hide because I had no idea how to go and find 300 people, and that's overwhelming. And I don't know how to do it, and I don't want it in 300 people. Okay, let me just go back to doing what I was just doing. But luckily for me, I just filed bankruptcy, so I couldn't really run and hide. I had to figure something out, and I had to make this work. And I had a really wise guy, not in that sense, a wise mentor. And here's what he said to me. He said, Keith, don't worry about trying to find the hundreds or the thousands. He said, you're only looking for 5 people. I was so focused on how. He said, switch your focus from how to who. Who are my 5? And he said, it's going to take you 3 to 5 years to find those people. But if you find 3 to 5 people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, that have a big vision and a big dream and want to change their life and are willing to put in the work and are willing to show up and willing to change their family lineage, he said, your life's never going to be the same. And that moment really clicked for me. And this business was never overwhelming for me after that. Because it was no longer about finding all these people, right? Like I'm looking at Lacey, I'm looking at Liz, I'm looking at Rhonda, I'm looking at Joanna. 5 of you, that's all I need. Give me those 5 people that you've got that big vision, that big dream, that you're willing to do whatever it takes as long as it's within your morals, that you want to go deep, that we're going to lock arm in arm, that we're going to, we're going to literally, and not in the physical sense, but, and I get married to those 5 leaders. We're on the phone, we're texting, we're talking, and the 5 of us have this vision, this mission, and everybody else in the team is important. But those 5 people that really, not that say they want it, that their actions back up, that they're actually, we can all talk a big game, myself included, right? But do they actually show up every day? Are they actually putting in the work? Are they actually doing the thing? And here's a little tough love on this call. Doing the thing in our business is signing up people. Right now, getting on this call, this isn't doing the thing. I would even argue making your post on social media isn't even doing the thing. Having that conversation, inviting the person to look at the business opportunity, inviting someone to try a free, all those are doing the things. But it's uncomfortable, right? We all want the business where we put up the post and 40, 50 people come to us and sign up. And I was just talking with Emily. I work with a lot of those people. And you know what their biggest problem is? 40, 50 people sign up, 50 people sign up. 3, 4, 5 months from now, 48 of those 50 are gone. This business is so much simpler than we make it out. It's going deep with 5 people. Now you're going to have to work with probably 25, 30, 40 people that you swear this person is going to be, they're gonna kill it in the business. This person I just signed up, you're texting Emily and you're like, oh my God, she's gonna kill it. And Emily's on the other end, like, I know, yeah, she's gonna kill it. She hasn't signed up a single person yet, but she's gonna kill. I know, I believe in her too, right? And then maybe she goes and she signs up 5 people or she signs up 10 people, and you're like, I told you, she's the one. And somebody goes boo, and she's gone. We get frustrated and we hit one of those walls. We hit one of those walls. Are we going to continue or are we going to stop? Right? We hit one of those walls and we have a choice. Do we run and hide? Or do we say, oh, maybe they weren't one of my 5? And we go out and we continue talking. And the question always is, Keith, how long does this take? I don't know. It's different for everyone. Here's the 2 accelerators. The pace, your pace. How many people are you talking to? And then your skills. Are you getting better at talking to people? I can't tell you run it this, talk to this many people a day and get this good, and you're going to find your 5 people in 6 months. I can't tell you that. I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I'll tell you how it's not going to happen though, right? We don't even need to have that conversation. All right, 5 people. In 3 to 5 years, could you find 5 people that want to do this at the level that you're doing it? But here's what happens. We let our self-doubts, we let the critics, we let all the people on all the like social media, like attacking people that love to jump on posts and love to do, we let that get in the way of our vision and dream. Hold it close. Hold that vision and dream close. And I'm telling you this is like it's really easy, right? This is simple, but not easy. Simple. You're only looking for 5 people. Simple. Protect your energy so your light is stronger than the negative thoughts in your mind and the negative stuff out in the outside world. That's your business model. This business model said another way. How do you grow a big business? Really simple. You find talent and you develop talent. And I want to simplify this one step further because when I'm on a call like this, I want to leave excited. I want to leave enthusiastic. I want to leave with a game plan. I believe we're all only looking for one person right now. And here's the reason why. If I'm starting my business, or like I know where a lot of people are, like this is a more developed team. Emily's been around here for a while. So I'm assuming a lot of you guys have been around here for a while. I'm starting a new team, or I'm trying to get my team going again. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm laughing. It's 9:18 here on the East Coast, and I just completely lost my train of thought. I have no idea where I was going
You
with
were
that
saying
thought.
you were saying find talent, grow talent, but you were going to go one step further. Does that help?
Yeah, sort of. Give me 1 second. I don't know. Oh, look for one leader at a time. Yes. Okay, I got it. Thanks, Brianna. All right, it's back. So we're focusing in on one leader, right? But what happens in our business is as we're building the business, either brand new at building the business or we're now trying to get our business going again, right? Sometimes it can feel heavy. Sometimes it can feel like we're doing the thing over and over and over and nothing's happening. Can anybody relate to that? Here's where with the one so five, even thinking about 5 is like, oh yeah, 5, right? I've been trying to do this for 4 years. This guy wants me to go out and find 5 people. Let's see him, but one. And here's why I like one. For anyone that's ever had a runner underneath them, there's nothing more exciting and there's nothing that brings more enthusiasm to you and your business than when you open up your back office or whatever you call it and you're like, oh my God, she signed up 3 people yesterday, right? The baby step here is we're just looking for one. Does that make sense? Just keep, because once you find that one, let me just this is gonna be your big, massive business 5 years from now. Here's how it's gonna happen. And I'm telling you, every single person that's ever built a large organization, here's how it happened. They get excited. They're talking about the products. They're talking about the business opportunity. Eventually, they find one person. That person is excited, right? Now they've got someone underneath them. That person's doing the business. And now they're in this weird spot. That person's starting to bring a couple people in. They're bringing a couple people in. That person, oh man, that person doesn't do anything. This is where we might get deflated. We go back up. We find another person. That person starts signing up a few people. We've signed up a couple more. Oh my God, that person signed up their one person, right? Now I've got my person and she's got her person and she's signing up people. And at the same time that that happened, I just found my second person. This took a year for all this to happen. But now I've got my second person and that person starting to bring in people and my other one person. So now I've got two, and one of my two, she's found one, and then that person found one. Now that now that thing's bringing in like 2 or 3 customers a day, and it's starting to run away from me. Now my other person starts to sign someone up. Now we're 2 years into it. Now I find my third person, and all these things start compounding. Instead of focusing every month on, I think it's 3 people with Plexus. Is that the monthly minimum? Like bring 3 people in a month or 4, whatever it is, right? Yeah. So what Emily said, it buried it and say, so whatever, just shift it. Continue doing that. But the reason why you're doing that is to find your one. That's going to give you the most peace, the most clarity. Because if you just do the basic that Plexus tells you, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to get resentful. And you're going to wonder why your business isn't growing. Keep bringing in the couple every month. Just change the intention behind it. I'm looking for that one leader. 5 years from now, I know I'm going to have these 5. Right now, I'm just looking for that one. I'm looking for that one person. And then here's how it changes. When you sign up that one, right away, you're helping her sign up her people. Day one, right? Let's help her get her couple. And then we go a little bit deeper. All right. We're kind of all over today. Can you see how focusing on just the one person and the 5 people just simplifies things? How many people are doing the thing, but you feel like your business isn't growing? Anybody? Ashley? See hands going up. Lacey? Are there other people in Plexus doing the thing and their business is growing? Yeah. I was on a call. Emily, can I have like 2 more minutes?
Have as much time as you want, Keith.
Okay. I was on a call the other day. I think I shared this story with Emily. This was on my team. There were like 5 women on the call, 2 women. Both of them started like 8 years ago. So both of them had a run up. One's going down. The other one had a run up, had a dip down, and went back up. The first woman was on the call and she was explaining how it's so hard and things just aren't what they used to be. And, she's been trying so hard and doing this and doing that, and things just don't work. And, all the different things out there. And now people can buy master resale rights and they can do this course and they can sell this. And I'm like, shit, network marketing might be dead. Like, what's going on here? And then another woman, Shannon, gets on the call and she's telling me about this new product that the company's coming out with, and she's in a test group for it. And this is going to revolutionize the business. And she actually thinks that she's going to sign up hundreds of people in the first month of the release of this. And she's signing up all these other people, and she's sharing how she thought 3 or 4 months ago, she thought she had a bunch of leaders, but none of them were leaders, but two of them were. And now they're bringing in some more people, and her business is growing. And she's like, I've been doing this for 8 years and I've never been more excited about this business in my life. And you would have thought these were two different women on, like, there's no way they have the same mentor or a sponsor. There's no way they're with the same company. There's no way they have the same skills and talents, because they obviously got different business plans. They're obviously, like, one must be in Mars and the other one's on Earth. Like, these are two completely different stories. One had her optimistic glasses on, and one had her pessimistic glasses on. One continued to know that somehow, some way this was going to work out. And one kept getting, like, the energy was heavier. Now, I get it. I get it. Because I've been through it myself and I'm coming out of it myself right now. But you can't grow your business when you're mired in self-doubt. You can't grow your business when you're mired in what ifs. So if there's anything that I can recommend, just showing up isn't enough. Like, you've got to get your mind right before you show up. Go for a run, go for a walk. Like, whatever it is, it's different for each one of us. But I just came on here rambling on for 28 minutes, right? Half the stuff was good, half the stuff was probably garbage, but I'm showing up with a certain energy and it brings something. It changes something, right? All right. Grateful for the opportunity. I can hang out if you want, Emily, and we can do some Q&As or whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, put them in the chat. I do have a question that I feel like probably a few people are thinking. First off, none of it was garbage. It was all really good. I have a huge page of notes taken here, but you made the comment about your focus is to find 3 to 5 people, and that's probably going to take 3 to 5 years, which I love that, because I think a lot of people come in thinking, I've been doing this for a couple months or a year or two, and I haven't found anybody. So I think that shows, like, it is normal it takes some time to find those few. But you said you'll probably have to work with a bunch of people to find those 3 to 5. So do you have any tips on or suggestions on how to keep your energy up when you have those people that you really have that excitement and that belief in, and they're showing up and they get to silver, or they come to convention and they're really excited and then they kind of fade, because that can be a little energy suck when you have these people that you think are your 3 or 5 and then they're not. Do you have any suggestions on how to continue to have a high level of energy in those situations?
Yeah. So I'm a rational guy, but I'm also a super emotional, like, sensitive guy. Here's the rational part of it. It's just how it works. Like, you're gonna work with 25 people to find 5. It's just, and if you want it to be different, you got to go find your own planet. Like, on planet Earth. That's how this works. And it's never going to change. We're dealing with human beings. So that's the rational part of it. Like literally, when I went into this, it was drilled into my head from my mentor. You're only looking for five, right? And you're gonna have to talk to a lot. The second thing that he said was when you're working with people, some of them are going to do irrational things, like be the next all-star, go to convention, building their business, and all of a sudden they're just gone, right? And he said, you have to understand that all of us come to this business with emotional baggage. And when somebody isn't willing to grow, because that's what, when they leave, it's because they got to that point and it got uncomfortable. And instead of working through the discomfort, they're just going to go to the next shiny thing. Right. So that this is what happens. And he said the easiest way that he's had to process that is just have compassion. And it's the same exact thing as an alcoholic. It's an addiction to behavior patterns, right? So when somebody gets to a certain point and then they do this irrational thing like go to another company, or like it just doesn't make sense and you've invested so much in them, it's not a personal thing. They're just trying to feel safe. Like that's really what they're doing. So I don't know if that helps or makes sense, but it allowed me to shift out of the driving myself bananas to being like, all right, it's the same as looking at someone like an addict. And it's not that, and we're all addicted to our own habits. We're all addicted to patterns. It's just a matter of are we willing to break the addictions, which isn't freaking easy, right? So it's going to take 25 people because you got to get five people that are willing to get sober, like emotionally sober, right? I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, I really like that, especially at the beginning. Like it's just rational thinking, like going into it knowing this is what's going to happen versus assuming every single person who says I'm doing this, I'm going to be a diamond. There's a lot of disappointment if you don't have that rational thinking of it could or could not. Like who knows, but this is what I'm going to do. And one of the things that you said to me, this is the last question prompt that I have for you. And if anybody else has a question, feel free to ask. But when you and I were talking prior to this call, you made a comment to me about, we feel in network marketing that we need to just have this like scalable system, like this perfected scalable system. And you said, really it's a lot of times like success comes, and this is my wording, not yours, but like a lot of times success comes in those unscalable ways of just like connecting and communicating, and what you're doing is going to be duplicated down. And we hear that all the time, but I would love to hear just your affirmation in that too, that it really is about like your connection and what you are doing. And it doesn't have to be like this perfect scalable system.
Yeah. So the model that I'm in is very similar to Plexus. The most people I've ever signed up in a month is five people. And we've built a downline, not of customers, of what you guys would call ambassadors, of 30,000 ambassadors. But the most I've ever signed up was five people. It was because I went deep with those people. I wasn't concerned about, in this, we can get caught up in the numbers, but we're dealing with human beings. And when we move, and my mentor Craig used to always say, people don't move products, moved people move products. Let me repeat that. People don't move products. Moved people move products. And what he meant by moved is inspired people. So when we have somebody that, yeah, and what Emily was saying, like doing the unscalable, the people that are working, the people that are growing, the people that are signing up people, give them your time, give them your heart, have their back, and they'll move mountains. You know, if I've had two really strong, I didn't grow up with good male role models, good male mentorship in my life. And I had two men that I've known for 20 plus years now, or one for 20, one for almost 15. And the biggest thing they did for me was A, they loved me like as I was. And then B, they always had my back. Like I knew they were going to be there because most of our people, they don't have people that are always going to be there. They have conditional people. So just really being there for people. And, you know, we talked about you're going to have to go through 30 to find your five. They have to also be matching your efforts, not emotional vampires that are sucking the life out of you. Right? We all know those emotional vampires. Don't get caught up in that. We got enough to deal with ourselves.
So good. Thank you so much, Keith. Does anybody have one more question before we break into our book study and let Keith go spend time with his family since it is already almost 10 o'clock his time? I am going to actually give away one of these books, a copy of this book, Build to Last, as a thank you for being on this call tonight and a way to support Keith. So be looking in our team page. I will post it tonight with your action step. I want you to write out some of the things that stood out the most to you in this call, and then an action step that you plan to take or an area that you're going to focus on. And then I'll draw for a winner later in the week. Keith, thank you so much for being on. This was such an honor. So thankful for your friendship. So thankful for your wisdom. And this is a little plug too. If you guys don't know, he has a really great, is it a podcast? Would you call it a podcast? It's not on the podcast app. It's on, what is the
It's a
app?
Patreon, the
What is it?
Patreon app. Yeah,
Patreon. Yeah.
Patreon.
It's
I
so,
have a bigger ask though.
yeah.
If you've read the book, has anybody read the book? Maybe. If you'd be willing to go to Amazon and give a review, that would be the biggest ask that I could have, and that would be a huge bonus. It helps to get it out there to other people and helps it to be found.
So do that. And then if you like his teaching, which we all do, his Patreon is $7 a month, and he does daily podcast in there, and he has collections of like the CEO path and how to develop leaders and mentoring leaders, and it's all so good. He also has his audio of the book, of him reading the book. Really good. So go take a look at that so you can be inspired and you can grow your business in a way that is focused, that provides peace to your family, that provides stability and depth to your business. So thank you so much, Keith. If you are on my team, stay here before Keith jumps off. Everybody say your goodbyes. Thank you so much. You're the best. Thanks, Keith. Okay, so that was good, right? Do you guys feel inspired? Do you feel I'm loving seeing some of the messages come through in Gold Digger, some of the messages coming through in the chat. I hope that that is encouraging for you. I loved what he said of give those who are working your time. have their back and they're going to move mountains. And we don't have to have a bazillion people who are doing the business to grow here. It just takes one. When I think back to that we've had multiple seasons of really big momentum on our team, but I want to say the first season of momentum for us, I was telling Keith this earlier before we were on this big call. I didn't have a perfected system. I didn't really have anybody doing the business, but I had this deep, deep belief and this deep love and this deep dream. And that energy was like contagious to so many people, not just me, but like the few people that were doing the business. There was just this energy and this belief that people wanted to jump in on. So if you're at a place right now where you're like, I know my energy is low, fall back in love again with what you're doing. Fall back in love again with the products, with your customers, with the dreams that this could be for you and your family, because that energy, whether it's high energy or low energy, is being like shared through how you speak, how you share on social media, how you talk about the products, how you talk about the business. But in that season of momentum, there was no like beautiful system. It was just a lot of energy and a lot of passion and a lot of people coming together and having fun. And so I really hope that we can have this shift in our business and in our mindsets of like, we're really just focusing on those few who are here wanting the business, who are working. If you don't have anybody yet who is here working with you, then that's your next step. Go find them. Go find those leaders, the people that you want to work with. That's the beauty of this business, is that we get to kind of pick and choose who we work with. If I don't really connect with certain people, if they're not really my jam, I'm not going to reach out to them and tell them, hey, I would love to work with you. But if I see somebody that I really align with and I enjoy and I want to go on trips with and I would want to go and have coffee with, I'm going to reach out to them and tell them the things that I see in them and tell them why I think they'd be amazing at this business and that I'd want to partner with them and see if they'd be open to hearing more about it. It's this beautiful process where we get to see other people, we get to love other people, and then we get this beautiful compensation for it too, while those people are now growing and changing things for their families. There's no better business out there. I'm certain of it. And I said this at convention. I took my level ones out to lunch and we were sitting around talking, and I shared with them that the past little while has been kind of a challenge for me trying to figure out how do I like help our team find new life and get some momentum and I've been here for 7.5 years. Like I've kind of been hitting my head against the wall. Like, what can I do to help our team grow? And my husband, he has been with me for a long time, like through thick and thin, and the past, year or two, like through a lot of tears, and so beautiful. My husband just said, Em, I can go get a job. Like you can stop Plexus. I can go get a job. Like this doesn't need to be on you. And I just looked at him and I said, even if you make millions and millions and millions of dollars, I would never want to quit because I have you guys and I have a purpose and a passion, and I know what this can be for so many people, and I would never quit. And I was telling him too, like, what other business gives you beautiful community, gives you personal development, rewards you with an incredible compensation plan, has really fun prizes like a Ninja Creamery or Creamy or whatever it's called, and the Ray-Bans and trips and a free Lexus in your garage, like you and your own time freedom, and you don't have a boss and you don't have to check in at 8 a.m. and be nervous that you didn't come back in the 1 hour time span for lunch. Like, what other job is out there like that? None. So let's get on board with like the joy and the energy and the belief of what this could be for us, for our friends, and let's jump in on that. And the last thing I'm going to say before we do our quick breakout for book study is many of us were at convention and did that 10x is better than 2x, however her phrase was. And remember how she was saying, Jessica Heffley, how she was saying like, do you guys want to like make money from home? And all of us were like, yeah. And she said, well, then why do you think nobody else wants to? Like, there are so many people who want to make money from home. And we have an incredible organization with so much integrity. And you guys, we've got products that change people's lives. Like, that is something to be so proud about. Don't forget about that. Don't forget that our products truly are life-changing. So get behind that with passion, with purpose, knowing that even if you're not where you want to be yet, you will get to that place. And in that journey, you're also helping so many other people reach their dreams. Like, how incredible is that? Truly, I'm not blowing smoke. Like, this is personal experience. It is the most beautiful gift. So let's like up that energy. And like he said, if you're at a place where you're not in that energy, one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself, but one step at a time. Okay. I love you all so very much. Yes, pink drink energy. All right. So we've got 14 minutes where we're going to do a breakout of the gap and the gain, the always measure backwards for chapter 4. Let me stop recording. Hold, please.